What are some of the things you can do when you get into the season and all of a sudden your peak of breeding, almost the latter part of the season, where those gobblers are henned up and they stay henned up all day? I've got a few different things I try to do. Starting top of the morning, I want to be the first hen on the ground. So I'm going to try and get as close as I dare to that turkey. If you've got foliage, you could push on in there a little bit, but be mindful of the fact he could be roosted with his hens. If he is, you've got a lot of different eyeballs to try and fool. If you've roosted him the night before, you can use the cover of darkness to get in close. If I've got a position within 100 yards, I want to make sure I'm the first hen on the ground, and I'm going to get very aggressive very quickly. Might start with a fly down cackle. Putting a lot of pleading quality in there with the yelps also helps because you're adding emotion to the calling. So I want to be the first hen on the ground. And I like to key that at about the same time he's about ready to fly down. If you can see him, that'll help you understand when he's about to pitch. If you can't and you're just doing it audibly, then generally it's about the time you start to hear the whippoorwills stop, you're starting to see enough light, and through history or through a lot of experience with it, you go, you know what, it's about fly down. You don't want to do it when it's pitch black. You really want to wait till it's starting to crack light and then be the first hen on the ground. Get very aggressive quickly. And if you know he's already on the ground, then I pour it on. If that doesn't work, and you get on up into the day and he's henned up and perhaps you see him out in the field and he's got a bunch of hens, or you just know there's hens present because you hear them talking, then I'm going to get really aggressive with my calling, whether it's a handheld friction, a box call, or a mouth call. And I'm not necessarily trying to call the gobbler, I'm trying to call the hens. Sometimes I change mouth position to sound like multiple hens, or I'll take my head and move it certain directions to try and make it sound like that hen's moving or there's two hens calling to each other. And if I get those hens responding, I try to pour it on and I try to challenge their position in the flock. There's always flock dominance going on. There's a pecking order, whether it be gobblers or hens, and you're trying to challenge that. If all of that fails, you know, you tried the roost, that didn't work, you tried, 7:30, 8 o'clock, that didn't work, then I have a tendency to do a lot of hunting the middle part of the day once these gobblers are fully henned up, because hens are going to leave that gobbler for a variety of different reasons. You can strike and kill sometimes at 11, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, where you couldn't do anything with him earlier in the day. So make sure you don't overlook the middle part of the day, because he's going to lose his hens. They go off to nest, they go off to feed, they go off to dust, and they start scattering out away from that gobbler, and you're much more likely to find one alone the middle part of the day or later in the day and try and kill him that way.